All right. And we're back. I believe our to-do list is to go into town and take care of some business. We got to get our spell book since now we have the rare book to trade for it. So let's go to Allie's books.
Hello. I will
Jester
be
now.
right up.
Yes, yes. I'll see you when you're here.
Now, what can I do for you?
Alright, so we need to give him the rare book, which is... no, this one. This one here, right?
Alexander is carrying a rare book from the bookworm. The words in the binding are very faint. The something riddle book.
Alright, the Tom Riddle book, got it. Alright, so let's take this Tom Marvolo Riddle book.
I found
Give it
this
to
rare
our
book,
bookseller
and I thought
here.
of your offer.
Very interesting. Oh, it is a wonderful riddle book. Riddles are much more marketable than spells these days. I guess people believe more in mirth than in magic.
I can dig it.
Here is the spell book you wanted, and a fair trade it is, I must say. Enjoy it.
I
Alright.
certainly hope so. We shall see how rusty my spellcasting truly is.
It can only be a couple years at the outside, right? So let's see. He was in King's Quest 3, he was 18. He's what, like in his mid-20s now, so the most years that have passed have been like 7. But, you know, we're gonna leave that alone. Alright, so here's our spell book. I'm pointing at it like you can see what I'm doing. So, magic paint spell. 1 cup swamp ooze. River Styx water. 1 black horse feather. Huh. Alright. Swamp ooze. There's a swamp on the Isle of Wonder. We can get it from there. River Styx water. Yeah. We gotta die to get that, so we're gonna have to figure out how to get that. And 1 black horse feather. Alright. And then stick water, swamp ooze, stir with horse feather, blah blah blah. Oh, there's another page. If I can pixel hunt for the page turn. There it goes. Make rain spell. A few drops of salt water not from the sea. Okay. Vial of sacred water. Okay. And falling water. Alright. That's specific. Charming a creature of the night spell. 1 skull full of hot oak embers. I guess that's not my skull, so we'll get someone else's skull. A bit of sulfur or brimstone. Okay. And 1 strand of a pure-hearted maiden's hair. Hey, I've got that. It's the only thing in this entire thing I've got. Alright, so that's
This is the last page.
the last page. So there's only 3 spells. That seems like kind of a ripple, man. I want my riddle book back. Anyway. We will use all 3 of these spells. We will get all the ingredients for all 3 of these spells. For the moment, let's go to the pawn shop and trade in our
Good
Nightingale,
day,
because
Prince
we are done with that.
Alexander.
And we'll trade that in for the flute.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
Flute.
I'll take the flute.
As we know,
The
all
flute? Very good, Prince
Daventry
Alex.
noble
May its
nobility
music
knows
always
how
be
to play
sweet.
music.
Feel free to trade it back at any time.
Thank you.
Alright. So we got that. I think that's what you're doing here right now. What else we got? So, I got a brick. I'll get the hole in the wall. Got the red. What am I missing? I feel like I'm missing something for the next step. But let's go to Isle of Wonder. I do need to go there. Oh, I'll need to get the tinder box. That's what it is. But I can't get that yet because I gotta go use the flute to get the hole in the wall. And if you're asking how on earth will you get a flute with a hole in the wall, you'll see. He walks so fast. What? No, that's not the right one. I want to click on the inventory and pull out my magic map.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
It's funny, he had a magic map in King's Quest 3 as well, and when they did the AGD remake, they actually put in Alexander pulls out his magic map every time he pulls it out, because, of course, you hear it a ton. So,
Alexander feels a
Isle of
strange
Wonder.
pulling sensation.
They have cream for that. Alright. So let's go back and get the hole in the wall. Hello, everyone here. All you anthropomorphized things. Ah, so we need tears not from the sea, right? Or, sorry, salt water not from the sea, which, of course, would be tears. So in order to get the baby's tears to cry, we're going to feed
Alexander
one of them
gives one of the
that
baby's
bottle of
tears a bottle of
milk
milk.
for the milkweed plant. And all
The
the
other
rest get
baby's
upset.
tears seem to resent Alexander's gift for some reason.
Well, that was kind of a jerk move, Alexander. So let's get our hunter's lamp.
Alexander collects some of the baby's tears in the old
Bingo.
hunter's lamp.
Alright, so next thing we need to do is, what's this over here on the chair? Something new?
Alexander takes the
It's a
teacup.
teacup. Perfect. So now, what we'll need to do is distract... That is not what I wanted to click again. Oh my, I wish I hadn't given that bottle to him. So let's use the flute
May
on
I
the
have
wallflowers.
this dance?
Oh, my!
Again, the music. And no, you can't skip
Alexander
this.
stops playing the flute, but the wallflowers and snapdragons continue to dance, caught up in the music and oblivious to everything around them.
Fabulous. Alright, so now we can go grab this guy, because the wallflowers
While
will get
the
out of the way.
wallflowers dance, Alexander snatches the hole in the wall.
Alright. So we've got the hole in the wall. So we need to get swamp ooze out of this, oh, for Pete's sake. Come on. Click. Thank you. So here's some swamp ooze. So let's get our little teacup out. Perfect. And get a little bit of swamp ooze.
What do you think you're doing?
You startled me. I was just getting some swamp ooze.
Well, you certainly won't get it there! That's not swamp ooze! That's swamp slime!
Oh.
He's right,
think
you
it'll work?
know. But he could be a little nicer about telling you. He's not a very pleasant stick in the mud.
Nobody asked you! Be quiet!
Oh, the trials of being a mere bump on a log.
So there's no love lost between those two. So, let's see.
Who are you?
I'm Bump on a Log, and that's my brother, Stick in the Mud. We've had this thing about each other ever since our childhood. Mom always liked me best.
She did not! That is absolutely not true!
Oh, why are you fighting about this? Mom loved you the
He's a bit
same.
lazy, you see. He's got the only swamp ooze in the swamp right next to him. But do you think he'd move a finger to help you get some? Hardly. He'd try to brain you with it more than likely. His temper's about the only thing that ever gets a workout. And that on yours truly.
So they clearly fight quite a bit.
Like you've moved at all in the last century! Like you're Mr. Physical Activity!
Just because I can't reach anything, he thinks he can throw gushy swamp matter at me and just say whatever he likes. If only I could turn the tables on that heckler, he might learn some respect. But as you can see, I'm a mere bump on a log and must be content with my lot.
Well, let's see. I know someone will get along with these people just fine.
You couldn't hit the broadside of a barn even if you had something to throw! Just shut up!
You see how he is?
So we have in our possession a rotten tomato.
Where were you born? A barn?
Hey.
It's a pigsty back here. Yeah, all this stuff you got. What do you want to carry all this trash around for?
To get you to comment on it, that's all. So, Let's give this tomato to Bump
I
in the
thought
Log.
this might come in handy the next time your brother starts picking on you.
Aha! Finally, old Bump on the Log's not so defenseless, is he?
Hey, hey! What are you doing there? Watch the pulp, would you?
Now,
love the
Bumpy,
animation.
remember all I've given you? The only thing you've ever given me is mud. Take this.
No! Not into the swamp!
Like the...
Hey, okay, I give up. Geez, sorry.
Well, I guess it's not very pleasant having things thrown at you. I'm sorry.
You mean it? Really? Brother.
Oh dear.
Brother!
How sweet. Alright.
Stick in the mud and Bump on a Log, exhausted from the battle, immediately doze off into naps. Rotten Tomato, being equally lazy, decides to join them.
Alright. So now we have actual swamp ooze and not swamp slime. Bloop.
Alexander fills the teacup with the swamp ooze.
Alright, there we go. So that's that got. So we have that ingredient. That's for the magical paint spell, I think. Alright, so now, what do we got? We got the hole in the wall. We've got the red scarf. We've got the brick. And we have to go get the tinderbox and we'll be good to go. So, let's get our magic map out.
Alexander pulls out his magic map.
Vincent, you really can't be right there in front of the screen. I'm sorry, you're a pane, not a pane of glass.
Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Vincent loves this game. He is just... I think he's more into the cursor that's moving around on the screen. But, you know, I can pretend. Alright, so we need to go to the old pawn shop.
Good day, Prince Alexander.
Good day. I love how he says that. So let's trade in the flute. We're done with that.
Would you mind if I traded this in?
Of course, Prince Alex. Please choose something in exchange for the items on the counter.
Alexander looks closely at the items on the counter to make his selection.
Alright, we're going to take the tinderbox.
I believe I'll take the tinderbox.
Very good, Prince Alex. Enjoy your tinderbox and bring it back anytime.
Thank you.
Alright, so let's... Oh, right. Open the door before you walk through it, you dingus. Alright, so looks like we've got everything we need to go to the Cliffs of Logic and start that part of the quest. This is where the game kind of picks up. Like, the first part is a lot of walking around, learning where everything is, and collecting stuff. But this is where you really start, like, getting stuff done. So let's go to the Isle
Alexander
of the Sacred
pulls
Mountain.
out his magic map. Alexander feels a strange pulling sensation.
Alright, so here we are. And this is where you start continuously saving. Because you will die. Like, it's inevitable. Because it's
There
really
appears
fiddly.
to be something etched into the face of the cliff. Alexander decides to get closer.
Oh, does he now? So, this whole bit, the Cliffs of Logic, are a very old school, what's called DRM now, or copy protection. So when you purchased the game, you got it on a CD. And in that box with the CD came a book. And that book was called The Guidebook to the Green Isles. You only got this book if you bought the CD. They didn't sell it separately. I'm sure you could borrow it with the copy of the game, but then the person that originally bought it couldn't play the game. They were photocopies, of course, but that was before the internet, so you couldn't easily pass around this information. Luckily, we live in the modern age with modern technology and the modern internet, and I can go find all the answers to these puzzles. But originally, all the answers to these puzzles were in the Guide to the Green Isles as part of the information on the Isle of the Sacred Mountain. So this one here, you have to spell rise. Ignorance kills, wisdom elevates. So rise is R-I-S.
Huge blocks of stone erupt from the granite cliffs.
Chunk. And this isn't sped up, even though I sped myself up. Fabulous. So this is tedious, but this was like some of the most nerve-wracking
Alexander
time.
stares with wonder. That's quite a way to welcome a guest, if indeed it
That was
is
my
a
phone,
welcome.
sorry. So, we're going to start climbing these cliffs in the next video. See you then.